all their matches. This is to be their 9th and final one, in fact. And if they are to win this one, they will be undefeated in ECS so far, except for that one map loss against TSM on Cobblestone, which perhaps was an anomalous result. But moving into Train, a map that OptiC definitely have had success with in the past, and Mixwell has proven to be a much needed addition, adding a lot of stability when it comes to clutch play and more specifically AWP play, in fact. And that's we've seen that recently in their last matches in the ECS. A lot of cool clutches from Mixwell. I think we've all been pleasantly surprised by what he can do. But the problem that we saw on the first map versus Luminosity is that there's a situation where Luminosity are playing the type of CS where Mixwell can't even get to do anything. He can't even get to play the game because they're just hammering them.
I was sitting on my microphone, Dan.
I am aware that you just ignore it. Let's move on.
Pistol time. OptiC on the T side here with the bomb slowly creeping towards B, where two players are far away, but they will have the range advantage. Interesting that Cold has gone for the...
Sorry, just the name of his USP. Did you see that?
I did not.
It says God forgives, Taco doesn't. That's what the name was.
Oh, I've seen it before, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, good timing, nade. FNX is going for the flank through T main, so OptiC are biding their time, but that's just giving Luminosity all the information. We got 4-man on road, Dan, on the road to the B bomb site. And OptiC may be in for a nasty surprise. They're taking so long that they've got a guy in Hot Dog, but what is the purpose here? Because they're going to get wrecked by the CTs, man. Cold getting his knife out, looking to get the switchblade going. Not going to work out on this occasion, though. Only Nafla remains. Luminosity just will not wait, Dan.
Have Luminosity, how many pistols? Have they won like 5 or 6 pistols or something? That's kind of what it feels like so far. I'm not sure. But they have a dizzying success rate with these pistol rounds, and right now Naf is in a lot of trouble. I mean, what is he going to be able to do in this position? He's got the bomb in the open. He's going to get tagged down. And interestingly, this is one of the times we're going to see Luminosity not start on the T side. It might in fact be the first time that we see them not start on the T side, which is actually what about Mirage?
I don't remember. You're asking me too many questions, Dan. I can't even put my microphone on. Yesterday I couldn't plug it in or turn it on. Today I can't even wear it. So don't ask me about T-sides.
Indeed. Well, it is going to be the force buy from OptiC. They did not get the bomb plant, so force buy it is, and Luminosity will expect this. Fallen on the Scout, got an M4 on the FNX, SMGs for Colt and Fur. So they have, you know, a selection of grenades to work with, so they are equipped to deal with this. Taco already waiting, spots 2. The call comes in, rotations can start to happen potentially, as they have 1 player in connector. Maybe not going to, you know, rotate everybody, but they have 3 to attention on this bomb side. And in they go, Fur with the MP9 is going to get dropped off the top of the train. And that's a 3 versus 4 in favor of the T's, who sprint down the yard.
Well, that's been planterized. Oh, these Tech-9s doing damage. Cold is alone, and he is now joining his teammates.
That's how it's done.
In the afterlife. 1-1. I think this is a good map for OptiC. Yeah. I think that we've seen Mixwell's potential. I think it's going to be hard for much harder for Luminosity to run over their opponent on this map as they did in the previous map.
Especially on the CT side. I mean, there's a lot less edges for them to gain, right?
Yeah, and a lot more to go wrong. So, especially with their economy.
It's like an IP. It's just like, we just need to have an okay CT side. And then on the T side, we know that we're going to crush them. That's kind of how it works, I think. And I am quite curious to see how this will pan out in this situation. One thing to note is that in the previous round, OptiC understood that with the Tech-9s, you have to get your rush on. You really have to push the yard. You can't hold the bomb. You have to push the yard. You have to take the entire site and also connector. And as I say that, we're getting OptiC actually cleaning up the force buy pretty effectively, actually, across the map. And the information seeking, James, has resulted in everyone dying for Luminosity. So that is pretty efficient. That's an efficient way to seek the information. And the information is everyone's dead. There's 1 guy left.
Yeah, I've done some research. And my research is that we are all dead. Research closed.
So this is a great start for OptiC. I think we will be in for a much, I don't want to jinx anything on
more
their
competitive
behalf,
map.
but I think we are in for a much more competitive map. Yeah, I mean, OptiC have the start they need, unless they do some grave mistake somehow, or Luminosity do something really crazy. But Luminosity should be full save in the next round. And OptiC, have reset them so that OptiC should have a really good money to make the plays And this has been a problem that teams have been facing. Liquid as well on Dust 2. We saw that Liquid really struggled to be in a position against Luminosity where Luminosity weren't dictating the map, allowing them to actually just do something themselves. But here, OptiC have everything. They have all the options, all the money. They're on the T side. They can finally impose their will.
Yep, so no buy coming in really for Luminosity in this particular round. But again, if OptiC go for a slow round, because Luminosity have nothing to lose, they may get aggressive, although they're not really positioned for it at the moment. They've got one player on the A-bomb train, 2 in connector, and FNX was at the back, but he is now down. OptiC going for a fast play towards the A-bomb site, it seems. And again, there is a player on the bomb site itself. Nafly somehow not seeing it, but will be taken down by Rush. Fallen dispatched off as well. So far, so good for the T's.
So who was it? I believe it was, besides Mixwell, I think it was Rush and I want to say, I'm not sure actually, maybe Stanislaw, that had a really sick game the last train that was played. I think, you know, Mixwell had some really key clutch moments, but I think Rush was like the stable, like heavy fragger. Yeah.
He put in work.
Yeah, so definitely a team performance there despite those very important clutch moments for Mixwell. But so far so good here, although Cold is actually, he's hunting these guys down. He's like a guerrilla fighter at the moment. He's against all the odds, against all the numbers, but somehow
like
he's
Mariah Carey, Dan. He's against all odds.
I'm going to stick with the guerrilla fighter.
Okay.
And he's using his environment to his advantage. And anyway, it's going to be a 3-1 before the buy is seen for Luminosity, but now it's seen. But it's not known by OptiC yet that it will be a double op setup, and that Fer will not be on an MP9. Maybe Fer he's wanting to get serious. Ooh, but will he get a chance to do so? OptiC are going in fast and heavy and hard into this A site.
Yeah, the T's are retreating, apart from Fer, of course, who only has the W on his keyboard, Dan. He's gone down, though. Taco trying to respond. Stanislaw covering the bomb plant here as we find ourselves on a 3 versus 3. That's a fresh smoke towards Fallen's position, so he'll be stuck there for a while. Cold coming in from Pop Dog with Taco. That's a nice little Bermuda Triangle there for the CT side. Let's see if they can sink some ships in the middle of the storm. So Mixwell goes down after Taco falls to Daps. Daps putting in 2, leaving Fallen alone now. It seems he has given up the ghost.
This is great, actually. I really like this round from OptiC. This, I'm always a fan of rounds where the CTs, you push them to a bad economy. Then eventually, when they get to buy, you try to just hit them with a really fast contact play. With you don't go for a set piece, but if you're going to have nades, they're running nades. The point is just to get
overwhelm.
They just overwhelm them initially, get the faster entry frag, and destabilize the setup immediately. So before they have room to breathe and get to do what their plan may have been with the buy, you're already on top of them. So you get to constantly just throw your rounds down their throat and dictate the pace. And that's what Luminosity were doing to them on Cobblestone. Exactly the same thing. And now it is OptiC you up against an eco somewhat, but it is a few pistols to worry about, and AWP as well on Fallen. So he's obviously saved that. So that's going to be an issue. They must make sure they don't fall to this.
Well, Fer somehow escapes. That is,
nope. Nope.
That's just hilarious. Yeah, nope. He doesn't have any armor, and he still managed to escape that situation. Lucky for him. We'll see if he has a further role to play, or if he has just delayed the inevitable.
I love that flash. It's like, Daps. Daps is like spraying the sky. Daps, how about this flash? Like, as he's spraying, how about this flash? Oh, my God.
Oh, Luminosity banking on 4 over towards the B-bomb site. As I say, that 2 will rotate from CT spawn. So, playing the game at the back. Trying to read what OptiC are doing. OptiC being very quiet, however. Nafly has been in T-spawn this entire time looking towards Ivy in case of a push, which Luminosity are more than capable of. And now they will try to stream in what might end up being a dangerous choke point for the side. We have Cold on the other side of that train there. You can see he's got 2 angles to deal with. He hears some sound, so goes for a bit of a pop. Nafly gets tagged down to 22 and finds loads more players, so the rotation will come in from the CTs. FNX with the AWP to take down Daps. Oh, timing pick onto Rush just about misses him. The bomb goes down on the site, the trades come in, but things are looking dangerous for the OptiC team. Flanks coming through Pop. How will they plant the bomb? They're 10 seconds down.
Well, it's going to go down. FNX is there with the AWP. I don't know that he's been spotted, but he's got to be careful because his barrel could show there for a rush. Oh, goes straight in. Hip shot there from FNX. No scope, but there's Naf with a quick cleanup. 2 low players, but Fallen picks up the kill in the trade. And Luminosity win the round. Very, very, very big round for them to win. Again, I think there was only Kevlar and maybe 2 of the 5 players there for Luminosity, if I'm not mistaken. They didn't really invest in that round. It's just the save of that ult from Fallen that gave trouble, as well as the sneaky positions of some of the CTs with those close-range pistols. Now,
So it begins.
It is the 2-4. What is going to happen here? Will OptiC be able to like crush the economy again, just reset Luminosity straight away? That is really important. They didn't even get their streak going, James. They didn't even get going, and Luminosity are already almost halting them. They must win this round to keep that to keep the control of the map. And the next one, oh, what a fast shot there. That is brilliant. And he's going to keep going. This is really nice. Keep the pace up. He had the bomb behind him. They're going to push into the site, get a quick plant, and chaos. There's 2 players out here in the yard, or at least 1 for OptiC as well. So OptiC have a great advantage moving into this. The only thing they don't have is deep control of the B yard. That's the only thing helping the CTs here.
Indeed, we'll see if they end up relying on the GG Molotov. It looks that way because Naflight is up above in the back with the Molotov. His plays on the site, but they're not at the very back. They're kind of in the middle, and Luminosity have given up on this. They're like, nope, we're going to save this and have a buy for the following round, and there are no Ts near them, so they should be good to save these 3 weapons. So OptiC, they are doing everything they can to keep Luminosity on the back foot, on the hind legs, and they will look to break those legs as this game continues. So far, so good for OptiC.
Yeah, that was a really cool little entry frag there from Mixwell, very fast. Obviously, kind of in his mind's eye, was expecting, he's peeking that angle, he's expecting a guy to be there, so he has that kind of primed reaction. So he's very, very fast, picks up the kill, and with the bomb right there, it's just a no-brainer as to what to do in the following moments. So quick round 1 and no more an important timing than that. So we'll see if Luminosity can bounce back here. They have a respectable buy, considering that they did get the save in of a few weapons in the previous round. So OptiC are not in the clear yet. They would need to win this one to be in the clear. And Stanislaw creeping, man. He's creeping. Get himself in the 4th position here, but between the trains towards quad. And this could be very dangerous. Stanislaw's position is super sick. His team is very likely waiting for him to open it up. And Fallen is going to get wrecked here. Oh, God. Completely destroyed. He actually was able to get a shot off there, but he will still die.
So far, so good for the OptiC team in round 8. Lots of time on the clock for them. Numbers game working out over towards Ivy. This is looking pretty rough for Luminosity on their CT side so far. Losing all the jewels now. Did they run out of steam? Did they use all the gas in the tank down on the first map? For wondering what has happened to his teammates as OptiC look to extend their lead. No one down for OptiC either. The tables definitely have turned, at least for the time being.
Yeah, it's definitely a map which can... It can be difficult to play against a good T side, and so far we've seen OptiC with some shenanigans. Again, getting Stanislaw into that forward position, dismantled the round. Previously, it was just a simple entry frag and pace. A bit of a gamble having the bomb with Mixwell in case he gets that quick kill, then they capitalize. OptiC are doing the simple things very well on train so far, and the problem for the CTs, I think I mentioned this because we had NIP previously in the European segment. Luminosity are also a team that does really well when they get to dictate what's going on, but when they just have to sit back reactively, it's not as easy to play their A game. And this is on this map, it's one of the hardest CT sides to do something. It's like cobblestone. Like, what do? You just sit there. Just got to sit there and wait. I mean, you can push here or there, but it's very risky.
Eco time, Fallen going for the scout. I have to say, playing with a scout is insane fun. I don't mean jumping nonsense. I mean just running around. Even when you're scoped in, the running speed of it is just so good. You can just have a blast with it, even on an eco round. So he will look to have some fun despite the 4-round deficit to OptiC, who once again are starting to just creep towards the B bomb site, and they will look to breach with minimal warning. Although Luminosity again going to be quite active here, not just going to sit around and wait. We've got Cold Zero who has pushed through Ivy. And with that positioning, we'll have 3 guys over towards B. Fallen getting a headshot traded, but he'll be happy with that. See if his teammates can pick up the rest of the frags. Nice. Well, it's going to be a clear out of the B bomb sites.
Yeah, you can really see why this is a pick for OptiC. I can't recall what Luminosity dropped against OptiC.
I will check.
But yeah, because again, you know, this is definitely going to be one of the stronger maps for OptiC. What would they have dropped?
Cash.
They dropped
Also,
Cash.
it would have been an auto ban, but just ban Cash all the time now at the moment. So I think they're not really concerned with counter picking as much as they are indeed. Yeah. OptiC banned Mirage, Luminosity banned Cash.
Yeah, well, the Mirage ban makes a lot of sense.
Then OptiC banned Dust 2 after the picks, and Luminosity banned Inferno to have Overpass as the final map.
Oh, okay. Well, we know that they like Overpass. Yeah. So overall, yeah, the best of 3 definitely looks good. I think a bit better for Luminosity, that's for sure. Across the 3 maps, you know, Overpass is so strong for them. But Train is really where you can see that OptiC can get it in good, and they've been having some great rounds so far. Not faced by the dominating performance earlier in the series with Luminosity on the first map, and running straight into the Orb of Fallen. This time it's looking a little bit better on the defense here for the LG side, but they need to continue this. Nafly harassing from quad, finding some angles here, but will he be able to save something here or create a distraction for Daps to work with? Luminosity playing a nice setup here. It's tight. Daps is just in trouble right now. I mean, what can he do? He's got the bomb, but got time, but he's going to die, James. There's no two ways about this, surely.
There he goes.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. I miss Gladiators.
I doubt anybody watching this has any idea what Gladiators is.
There was a US version, I think. There was a Swedish version actually.
Oh, really?
As well as yeah, I mean, obviously the original is a UK version, but I met one of the new.
We had the ones where with the steroids, Dan.
One of the new Gladiators used to go to a gym I went for a few years.
Great.
He was a super cool dude.
By coming out for both sides. AWP onto both teams. Can Luminosity... Oh, sit down, Cold. It's your turn to grab a chair, my friend, because we've got 3 people charging in your direction. I do wonder if his kill cam would have shown his team the 3 guys there, including the bomb. We've got Luminosity gravitating towards Ivy. There is a player still just waiting around. That's Stanislaw. I think he might be looking for a flank from B. Here we go. Crossfire for the CTs now. Fur with 2K, and his teammate can come in to help him. Won't be required though. Fur with the pistol. That is unbelievable. Stanislaw wondering what the hell's going on. It should have been OptiC's round. But they got ruined. They got ruined.
They did indeed. And now OptiC having to go for the rebuy. They got a lot of reserves to reach into, so it's okay from that perspective. But yeah, I mean, Luminosity, as long as they get between the 5 and 7 round range, I think they're going to be very okay. But this is also a map where you can't do as many tricky things as the T side, because it's not as much in the way of CT rotation to capitalize on in some senses. But we can get into that a little bit later as OptiC move in for the inner take now, and Fallen will take a lot of damage there. That is not ideal for Mr. Fallen. He is going to be getting caught on the back foot, but Daps will go down there to Fur on point as ever. 3 players for Luminosity are on B, so lost intention there. You can see the fast switch here from OptiC back from B towards A, and everyone from Luminosity was out of position due to the harassment towards B. So well played against with OptiC. They actually forced a bit of a rotation and then punish it. Nice stuff from them.
These guys are hurt. Those are 3 huge frags there for Mixwell. Look at the HP on his team. He has just taken this round for his side. I was going to say, OptiC were in trouble, but Mixwell has other ideas. He has surely put OptiC on 8 rounds versus Fallen, which is all that's left for the CTs. That is just brutal. Got the minigun out and just sprayed them all down, Dan.
Yeah, that's a little bit nutty, I've got to say. All right. Speaking of miniguns, you know, did you ever play a game called Syndicate Wars?
No.
It's a really old game, Amiga game. You had miniguns in that game. It was a cool game. Shout out to anyone who's played that game. I guess you have to be pretty old at this point. I'm turning 28 soon, James. I'm getting old.
Oh, look at you. Look how old you are, Dan.
I'm getting old, James. I'm incredibly old, James.
You're a sausage, Dan. That's what you are. You're a sausage. Fallen saved the AWP from the previous round. Mag 7 coming out for Taco. We're seeing lots of Mag 7 no armor. Seems to be working out well for the most part. I do still desire more investigation into the aim punch. Maybe a brief investigation, Dan, but the investigation will be had. Mag 7 will fail on this occasion. Again, we have, I have stressed before the importance of that. You saw that flash being lined up. So if anybody's playing on the slope, because you can, from the bottom of the slope, hold an angle with an AWP, basically from here. You can hold with an AWP, you can hold with a rifle, you can play close with Mag 7, you get a flash in there, and it will ruin all those setups. It should be a default flash every round to stop any would-be nonsense from your opposition. Your CT opposition, to be exact. The T is looking to execute over towards the A site. We have a wall of smokes coming in, but will it be a fake? I think it will be done.
Yeah, OptiC have been showing a lot of gymnastics on the T side so far, which is quite encouraging for their chances in this one. Can fall and adapt. 5 players to find. There's the first one. Dropped off the train. Nice flick there. Still 3 left, though, to deal with. And he's got a new position to work from. Just going from vantage point to vantage point. This could be strong, but I think he's thunderfooting around. Oh, the shot is good. Still, though, it's Fur against 1. Stanislaw, the spray, the crouch. Oh, my goodness. Getting tagged just as he darts away. And pistol comes out, and Fur makes it work. Luminosity steal that one from the grip of OptiC. That should have been a sure round. That is daylight robbery. And Luminosity are going to be feeling great about that because rounds are hard to come by. OptiC have been playing a great T side.
Fallen is a monster. He's a monster, Dan. Those shots are unbelievable, how consistently he hits them as well. I'm telling you, the man just grows with power every damn day. And I mean, the way that round started for OptiC, I'm thinking, are we going to see an 11-4 half for the USA side? But no, because Fallen says no, Dan. Because he leads by example, Dan. Not just his country, but his team.
Yeah, there's actually a lot to be said about Fallen, actually, due to the fact that, well, I want to make those points later because they should be addressed. So we'll come back to the topic of Fallen. We must do that after this. But we already have FNX dying early into the round. And this is a good position. OptiC have already shown that they're able to manipulate the CT rotation a little bit with the quick, Bs to As and vice versa. And now they start to pinch, constrict into the A bomb site from all sides. Pop Dog team main alley is where they are approaching from, and there's Cold falling up close with the AWP. What can he get done here? One player on the top of the train. Oh my goodness, going for these nutty shots. He can't quite connect that one though. And it's going to be the round there for OptiC. You can see OptiC consistently winning these rounds despite Luminosity sometimes picking them up, but it requires Luminosity to have these ridiculous plays, like this individual ridiculousness, which tells you that OptiC strategically right now are on point, and it is lovely to see. It
is indeed. So this is not over yet, not over by any means. The 1M4 onto Cold, the rest of the team on CZ. That is a consistent CZ buy there. I respect it. OptiC moving over towards the B-bomb site, perhaps. Bomb carrier Stanislaw will be covering the Pop Dog ladder. First being taken down with a very fast push into main. That guy, again, just like JW for Fnatic, his team have confidence in him to let him do whatever crazy stuff he wants to do. And it does them a great service. Sometimes the push comes in, we get taken down. Doesn't matter.
Indeed. And fun fact, James, the last map was already over by this much time elapsed. But we're going to see a quick trade going in there. Looks actually not too bad here for Luminosity. They go 3 versus 3. FNX, he's creeping up the ladder right now. Will they spot this? I don't think they have any idea. He's going to catch Naf straight in the back. Oh, the spray down is right. What? Oh my God, Naf gets the opportunity to spin around and actually frag. Oh, but there's a knife attempt going on, but the kill's actually going to go to Cold Zero instead. Madness, absolute madness here on this round. The bomb is down as well on the slope. What on earth can OptiC do? What can Naf do as the only surviving player for the side of OptiC Gaming? Here he goes, James. This is, he actually got the bomb. How on earth did he get the bomb? That is nuts. How did he get the bomb?
That is pretty crazy. Well, he's got 20 seconds. Surely, did they hit the ladder? They must have heard the ladder. It doesn't look like they heard the ladder, Dan. And the bomb's going to get planted, but they will certainly hear that. It's the Molotov that gives the game away. Fallen having to wait. He's only got 5 HP. Naf like 15. walking out, getting executed. So it's Cold alone with 100 HP here versus Nafly, who's got 15% of that. The clock is... there's some time on the clock, but Cold has no kit. Looking the wrong way. Can he find Naf? He can indeed. And there we go. The last round will go the way of Luminosity, despite... I mean, that was a war of attrition, which I would say was mostly won by OptiC. The score will say that, but I feel like this maybe should have been an 11-4, maybe even worse. Again, Luminosity, they get 6 rounds on the board, but a lot of individual plays, especially Fallen's nutty AWPing, to get them those rounds.
It's the one-on-ones on this site, the after plant one-on-ones on this site are always so funny because you get so many situations which are like, you know, ships passing in the night, that sort of thing going on, and like the smallest margins, which are hilarious. The X-ray. And speaking of ships passing in the night, that idiom always reminds me of that episode of Numbers. I've never seen any of the episodes, but just that clip where they're trying to explain IRC. Have you seen that? They're trying to explain IRC, and that's like this idiom that they use. It's ridiculous. If you haven't seen that,
I have actually. I remember. Okay. I do remember.
Yeah, for anyone who hasn't seen that, if you can link it in the chat, you should. It's hilarious, especially if you have used IRC. And that's another thing. We're gonna be, I guess, there's gonna be generations of players who are here that haven't grown up with IRC. But anyway, we shall move forwards into the pistol round. The 6-9 for Luminosity, but you know this is their T side now, so we really get to see them perhaps flex their muscles again. However, I would hesitate to say that this is not necessarily going to be one of Luminosity's top maps from a T-side's perspective. So I think OptiC have a really good shot at closing this one out, especially if they win the pistol. And Naf is going to get definitely the first contact here. And he's going to get some legs, James. He shot some legs. Nice.
Not doing as much damage as it could have done. So Luminosity going through a narrow choke point. There's only, I say only rush, but he's hiding around the smoke and he may not be detected here. 2 frags for him, Mixwell coming in with a 3rd. And that should be the pistol round shut down. We've got a 5 versus 1 at the moment. But it is Cold, the last man you want as the last man, Dan. But he can't do anything on this occasion. OptiC looking good now.
Yeah.
They're sparkling down, they've got clean sneakers on. They've got nice caps and stickers and other things, fur coats. Poodles, Dan, they've got poodles. They're in the street. They're in the park with poodles.
I'm waiting for you to create more imagery here. You put them in the park. What are they doing?
Pampered. I wanted to say freshly pampered poodles. You know, they got big hair poodles. I'm not a poodle man myself, but you know,
the poodles will have to wait. The poodles will have to wait, James.
I'm over a Siberian Husky type myself.
So here we go. We've got double UMP for OptiC. They are prepared. Got some incendiaries as well. Of course, the force buy from Luminosity as they did not get the bomb down in the previous round. I like that there was a post on the front page of Reddit recently, which it did explain for all of those, like a public service announcement for all those in matchmaking. You don't understand, even in Global Elite, don't understand that. But let's see. We've got Taco with a quick position through Ali, able to find a frag here. Luminosity are wiping them out, James. There's only Daps left with a UMP. This is a disaster. They're going to pick up UMPs and whatever the hell else OptiC bought. They are now Luminosities. They've taken them by force, James. They're prying them from the cold dead hands of OptiC.
Bounty and Booty with the Luminosity side. Daps in CT spawn, where it all began in this round, where he had teammates stand. Now all he has is carcasses. Carcasses and 1,000-yard stairs. I say plural, Dan, but he is alone. Maybe their eyes are open, then it would be plural. OptiC looked good. I could see the light at the end of the tunnel, Dan. I could see the sunset. I could see the what are those fancy trees called in Japan? Where they have that blossom and everyone's like, oh, let's go and look at the trees.
I don't know, cherry blossoms? I don't
cherry
know.
blossom.
Is that what they are?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they had a cherry blossom, Dan. They had you know, the freshly baked bread,
bonsai trees.
Bit of cheese. It was all taken away.
Were they pruning their bonsai trees?
No, they weren't doing that.
Okay.
That is too far, Dan. That is an extreme I'm not prepared to go to
right
now in this match. OptiC still have a 3-round lead, but they have gone for the force buy. They are limited to pistols, mere pistols versus the Luminosity side. We'll see if OptiC can be afforded the success on their CT that they had on their T side. They will need Mixwell on the big green gun. But first, let's see if they can bring things back here. We've seen many a force and Eco 1 today and yesterday, especially today. Maybe a little bit difficult versus Luminosity. Well, that's a good start. Mixwell takes FNX down, and he picks up an MP7. He's only got 20 HP, though. So maybe he wants to throw that SMG to a teammate and try and play close corners with the pistol. I don't know.
Mixwell, Pixwell. I know a lot of commentators are going to do that, so I might as well get them in early, you know, be the first, even though they're lame and obvious. Either way, I just want to get them in before Sadicus, because I know he's good at those. So we'll see Daps defending here from the core position, and that is a potentially very dangerous position. But so far, Luminosity, despite losing members, OptiC have really weak players, so they should be able to close this. But this is really scary. You know, one errant bullet to the torso, and these Luminosity players are going down. They themselves are quite weak, and Mixwell is going to find a hail of bullets to put into Fallen to prevent the bomb from going down. So now it's Fleur against two players. So force one by LG. Now OptiC looking to be in the same situation. Can Fleur prevent it? 20 seconds to go on the clock to see if he can clutch this one. Oh, finds one frag. Has to go for the plant. Is the position here good for NAF? It is. And that is the round. OptiC pick it up and reset Luminosity. And with no bomb plant, I mean, they are going to probably want to force buy back. But with no bomb plant, it's going to be a little bit weaker, of course. So that's a little bit
when
annoying.
you thought it was safe to anti-force buy Dan,
No.
OptiC come back again. So we've got two AKs and a Galil. This could go either way, looking at the weaponry on both sides. I have no idea who's going to win this map, but I'm kind of pulling for OptiC after their first half performance. Yep. Fleur, though, has other ideas. Down to 46 HP. We'll see if he throws his AK over to another player. He could swap with Taco, for example, and take the Tech 9. Fallen has no Kevlar. Sorry, no helmet. He does have Kevlar. And there goes FNX. I want to say he had a Galil. Well, things getting interesting now. Luminosity gathering over towards the B bomb site where Mixwell is moving into the connector area. Sees the players, will try to help his teammate. That's forced from his position by a Molotov, actually. Mixwell taken down now. Staps alone to try and do what he can with a mere UMP. Numbers game in favour of the T's for now. Now Staps alone versus two.
Alone in a cold, cruel world. There's no one to console him, James. He will be assaulted from multiple sides. He is going to be bullied by the older kids at the playground. And his lunch money is everywhere. It's all over the floor. Now, the 11-8 scoreline for OptiC is could slowly dissipate here if Luminosity can hold onto this round. Just the back and forth of this is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And Luminosity, they have a much better buy, obviously, after winning that round. A selection of grenades. I'm wondering if we're going to see more elaborate play from them, or if they're just going to keep the pace on up. And we've got at least one man pushing in for information from the CTs on Ali, as Daps is going to meet this bridge. Oh, the flash, the pop flash, the timing is absolutely spot on. And now OptiC are really in trouble. Wow. Nice. Quick frag. Quick frag. But the only way for them to win this round is if the scout goes massive. James, the scout is big, it's large, but it's not massive just yet. And now it's going to be in the hands of Mixwell. Perhaps the most capable on the team with the scouts. Let's see if he's going to pick anything up here. Another tag, actually. One player tag. Taco on 1 HP. And there's the finish from Mixwell. He can make this really awkward with that P250. Pulls the scout back out, gets the tag. Oh my god, he almost had time to shoot another bullet, which would have taken down Fleur. And all those frags are really important, despite losing the round.
Yeah, they may have roles to play as this map continues. 9-11 now. The gap is closing, and it's really unclear as to who might take this. OptiC on the eco, so it's a great opportunity for Luminosity to close the gap yet more. The ecos and force fights have been a problem for both teams. So this one should be considerably less so. Going to get flashed by his teammate there, but the CTs aren't coming as fast, so he'll be okay for the time being. Rush throwing nades in over the top. And Fur's going to get taken down by a mere UMP. Fallen and Coles will come in to clear things up. And now the round looks to be secured, although Mixwell moving in with a P250 could potentially do a lot more damage than a USP. Oh, there it is. They all lie together forever.
The end. Or not. Or not.
That
James.
reminds me of the end of the Flash Gordon film, Dan.
Which one?
What do you mean which one? There's only one.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Does it have Brian Blessed?
Yes.
Okay.
Ming the Merciless.
Gordon's alive! Brian Blessed had a lovely booming voice, James. It was fantastic.
How?
All right. So
He's not dead.
in that in
okay,
in
fair
particular, but generally speaking, yes, he does. Okay, round is round is being played out now. As it had a slow start, but Luminosity is starting to make their moves. And how will their moves be? Will they get a 10 out of 10 as OptiC did with their gymnastics on the T side, or will Luminosity be a little bit found wanting in this entry? So far, the nades will be sailing in, and the frag is found as a Stanislaus. So life is looking good for Luminosity currently, but they do need to get the bomb down now. And Mixwell's in an interesting position here. He's so close to multiple players, but he's going to back away. He's thunderfooting James. They can hear him as if he was a stampeding elephant. His position has been announced, and they will save with 4 rifles.
4-man save.
The 4-man. Away from the road, James. The road is dangerous and full of terrors.
This is not something you see every day on train. I think it's hard to even have 5 players take A and plant the bomb on a buy for both sides.
They're like, where do we
and
go?
have a 4-man save. Yeah, this is interesting. So you will see FNX coming out, and that is, I mean, these guys are pretty are This is brutal. Are we going to see some more banging coming in?
No.
It basically just exposed, is anyone going to survive? Dan, they saved with 4 people and none survived.
That's because they all stood in the corner, James, behind a box.
Why didn't... Well, hindsight. I'm not going to bother with hindsight. They went for a 4-man save and none survived, and that it makes it even more bizarre.
Well, okay, let's talk about saving for a little, just... I mean, saving... Okay, they are equaling. So yeah, with saving, you do kind of want to spread out a little bit, just because it can be that you can get caught off guard in one position, and if everyone gets caught in that spot, it's like for example on Cash, on the squeaky position. If every CT goes into that position and the Ts know that you're saving immediately, which the Ts worked out there, then you can get assaulted by everyone on the team if they're a smart team, and that's kind of the same thing as if everyone's saving squeaky, and that's not nearly as good of a position as squeaky is on Cash. So. Just the eco cleanup coming in, and we shall see OptiC reeling in disgust, James.
I think
at their bank.
I think one problem. Sorry to interrupt you. I think one problem for the CTs in how they chose to save there was they basically gave up all map control and put themselves in a tiny choke point. Whereas normally on other maps, one option is for the CTs when they're saving to contain certain exit points from the bomb sites with the numbers. So there you'd want to have somebody looking, let's say, towards ramp. Or you can have 2 upper B, or 1 looking lower, 1 looking upper.
A couple CTs
and 2
spawn.
people looking to connector. Or just saving CT spawn, yeah, because then you have less places to cover and more people to do it with. But there we go. Such is life. Yep. Back on the Biardi OptiC side, Stanislaus gone down already though, and Taco is going to
man mode.
Play the confidence run straight into the B bomb site. There's a Molotov there, so no one can be there, says Daps. But somebody's there because Taco knows that, and he's playing against it, and that's giving his team a man advantage.
And look at him go. He's just W, just hold it down all the way. He's also holding shift right now. Oh my God, Mixwell with the shot straight to his face. So Taco's run is over. It was a glorious one, and it may have won the team the round. We shall see as it plays out right now. FNX able to get a lot of damage from that. Falling with a return frag. But this does look like a round for Luminosity as things do progress. But Mixwell is still in the yard there. And let's see if he can save this AWP. His chances are much better than in the previous round, where they tried to save with 4 players. It's also possible that they never even considered, how do we save properly with 4 players? And just like in the round, we're like, okay guys, let's save. And didn't really think it through. That's also very possible.
Yeah, I think that's
a very rare situation.
Extremely likely.
It's a very rare situation. I think yeah.
This match is brutal. It's like Don Fry versus Takayama. Do you remember that from Pride Fighting Championships? No. They gripped each other around the back of the neck and just punched each other in the face for about 40 seconds. Literally, at the beginning of the first round, they didn't try and block any punches. They just grabbed each other by the neck and punched each other in the face for about 40 seconds. It was amazing.
I've only seen a few Pride fights.
I will show this to you, Dan. Everyone must see that. Don Fry versus Takayama, legendary. Don Fry was a beast.
All right.
Anyway,
set piece coming in. Wow, that grenade collided so hard into that guy's leg. He's bleeding now. He's actually
bleeding profusely.
He's bleeding blood. But we got the defense, the pistols. They're all over the place. These CTs in all the nooks, in all the crannies. And,
Grannies.
Definitely didn't mean to say crannies. In all the nooks and all the crannies. And looks like the bomb will go down in the chaos. However, Mixwell has an object. He's AWPing.
Yeah, has a kit as well. Mixwell has an open train. Well, 3 versus 1. There's surely only so much he can do. Indeed, on this occasion, there will be. So OptiC looked strong. But now Luminosity are 2 rounds away. Look at the money. Cold's got 16k. How can OptiC possibly claw this back?
That's crazy, isn't it? Especially if you look at how back and forth it's been leading up to this. And I think, OptiC, it's unfortunate for OptiC as well to some extent against Luminosity, because Luminosity obviously have a really deep map pool to go to. And obviously their ban was cash. It's not a map that Luminosity intend to go to, really. And but that's a great map for OptiC. OptiC would have, if they would have had a cash and a train here, they could absolutely take a best of 3 against Luminosity in that sense, from what we've seen. But either way, Stanislaw is going to pick up the opening kill there, as Fallen will just poke out a Squeaky, Pop Dog, just for the moment. Although there's no more Pop Dog train. But here you go, Trey's in the yard. And it looks good here for Luminosity in the entry now. Even though they're down a man, they're gaining some ground. Going on the quad position, FNX, he picks up an extra 2 kills. Man advantage, a severe man advantage found.
Severe situation for Daps and his team, because Luminosity look to make their way to round 15 unless Daps can clutch here, 1 versus 2. The bomb's still on the floor and there's over a minute on the clock here, so Daps still has options. He doesn't need to stay in connector. He can try and reset the situation. He can try and move over towards CT or B, or trying to take a gamble here. But it looks like Luminosity have control of A, so it's probably going to be there. And Daps is going to bide his time. And now, Daps is being quiet, so Luminosity don't know if he's moving towards the back of the site, but he has announced himself once again. Gets 1 frag, but Cold will finish him off. So it's match point for Luminosity. Again, it looks strong for OptiC, but now they are in a lot of trouble. Yeah,
they absolutely are. Luminosity looking to take this in a very quick fashion indeed. How much will OptiC find with this buy? It's not the best in the world. Luminosity were going to buys like this quite often just due to the fact that they felt superior to their opponents on previous maps, and in many ways they showed that was a justified decision. However, OptiC, can they do the same? Luminosity looking to take in fairly quickly. A pick found in Pop Dog straight away from Furt. Stanislaw goes down, playing that Mag 7 close range doesn't work out, and Naf now, because there's no one holding Pop Dog, he's vulnerable, and the setup is so crucial to have both players stay alive like that. Otherwise, you will get shot in the side of the face. Mixwell is in there though with a quick trade. Bit of madness here, but maybe Luminosity are going to have some trouble to get in still, even though they're up a man. Maybe not, James.
Ruthless aggression from the Brazilian side. They refuse to be conditioned to leave any spot. Cold went for Jules 3 times there. He's still in the same position. He's like, yeah, I'm here. This is me. OptiC with 2 players at the very back of the A site and then 1 over towards B. They don't really know what is happening here. 2 ops on the T side as well. They could be in a lot of trouble. We've got Jules coming in. Rush will start things off. Mixwell's gone down. That's a big frag for Cold and the team. Rush coming in from the back. He is alone on the site with his last teammate over towards B. Fallen, just snapping yet more heads. So it's Daps again, alone in a 1 versus 3 again. Taco's got Pop Dog, and surely Daps going down the ladder will sign his death warrants. Coming down slowly. Seconds try as a charm or something like that. Well done, Dan. So Luminosity. I mean, I